Sir, is this your truck out here?
It used to be, when things were different.
It's been sitting like that for a while, hasn't it?
There's salt and sand everywhere, inside too.
My dog loved the ocean air more than I did, yeah.
The tide finally went out, Arthur. Let's find what's left.
The salt and sand were so thick on that 2011 Chevy Silverado, it felt like the ocean had tried to swallow it whole. And looking at Arthur standing there with his mini oxygen tank, I realized this wasn't just a work truck. It was a heavy anchor holding him to a past he could no longer reach. Every inch of the white paint was buried under layers of dried mud and sea grime. The running boards weighted down by years of neglect, while the wheels looked more like stones than machinery. Arthur watched me from the edge of the garage, his breath coming in shallow rattles as he told me how his rescue dog used to lean out that window, catching the spray of the Atlantic during their morning runs to the docks. Since the dog passed and his lungs started to fail, he hadn't found the strength to even turn the key, leaving the truck to rot like an abandoned vessel in a forgotten harbor. In this neighborhood, a vehicle in this condition is a target for blight inspectors, and once the orange citation sticker hits the glass, the countdown begins before the city tow truck arrives to take away the last thing he has left of his working life. He lived on a fixed pension where a single municipal fine could mean choosing between medicine or his mortgage. Yet the legal pressure felt small compared to the emotional weight of seeing his memories covered in filth. The silence of the driveway was only broken by the occasional hiss of his oxygen concentrator, steady reminder of the time he was losing. And as I walked around the truck, I could see the crust of North Atlantic silt, forming a tomb over the Chevy logo. I started by soaking the wheel wells, which were packed so solid with mud and salt that the suspension was barely visible. Each blast of the pressure washer kicking up the scent of old tides and engine grease. It was a slow, methodical process, much like the way Arthur used to navigate his boat through a thick Maine fog, careful and deliberate. I watched the water run black as it carried away the weight of those neglected years, seeing the white paint emerge like a ghost coming back to life. When I moved to the interior, the atmosphere changed instantly. The smell of stale brine and old motor oil filling the cabin like a time capsule that had been sealed tight for far too long. As I pulled the seats forward to vacuum the deep-seated sand, I felt my brush catch on something small and worn tucked deep in the corner. It was a leather collar, the nameplate tarnished with green oxidation, but the leather still holding the curve of the friend who used to sit shotgun on every trip they ever took. I didn't say a word to him right away. I just wiped it clean and placed it gently on the center console, where the morning sun could hit it for the first time in years.